We're going to talk about the four verticals in the surface to air system. And few of our members have asked about the four verts, doing a tutorial on it, and really taking a deep dive into being a better four verticals teacher in the S2A system. Right here at the bottom, the first install for the passing game. Say all that in terms of why I believe this. The first install for the passing game ought to be the four verticals. And hopefully I'll bring that to life and show the hows and the whys that this needs to be the first install or the whole basis for your passing game offense and how that makes the rest of this thing go. Let's get to it. To see, just as a reminder, go on the video playbook section of our members section in surface-to-air-system.com. And for the members, Coach Hargett will give his teaching on the whiteboard of four verticals and how he does it in the S2A. So that's just a reminder of where that is. It's about a 5-minute video. But it's all whiteboard. This tutorial is going to show video. Also, go into the members section, and in the documents section, there's schematic drawings of four verticals with rules, very brief rules. And I'm even going to talk about changing here the tailbacks thoughts here, but we'll get into that in a minute. But anyway, going into the members section, under documents, drop back game, there's four verticals out of 2x2 with rules. And then there is the four verticals out of 3x1. Let's get into the video. Okay, like I said, we're going to watch a lot of high school film from Coach Hargett, and we're going to get better at running the four verticals. And again, stressing this as the staple of the passing game. Okay, point made here in terms of swing. One thing that I want to check a defense early on is, do they have swing control in four verticals? And this is whether they're just bringing four and dropping 7, which is what this look is, or whether they're bringing blitz for them. If they're bringing blitz inside by the mic, the 5 technique better have, he better have the control right there of the swing, and he better peel for the swing. He takes off of his rush, he's rushing outside, and he goes with the swing. I got to know that right now. If they're not sound, I'm taking this all night long. I don't care if every one of these guys fall down and all 4 are wide open. I'm taking the swing right now. We'll get into progression here in a minute when I make that point. So that's the first thing that I want to tag is I set my back and I tag swing or spear out to stress this part horizontally of the defense. And if they're not sound, I take a profit right there. I won't go broke. So let's talk about progression. The first thing that I'm doing, if I tag the swing, is if they're not sound, I'm taking it. Don't care what else happens. 1A progression is called peek, P-E-E-K. The quarterback, as he surveys the defense, looks like they're going to be playing too high here, is I'm going to look up the best matchup, and I'm going to look to see if I've got a best receiver against a pigeon cornerback or an unsound cornerback. They're playing 2, and the safety doesn't come off the hash. He plays a hard corner 2, and he whiffs, and this is what's awful about playing cover two in high school football. If you're a cover two specialist, God help you, you got to be good at it. It's not something you want to dabble at. If this kid has the flat and he whiffs, and this young man is able to get a best release to the bottom of the numbers, and this safety doesn't come off the hash, that's where the quarterback right now, in the snap of my fingers, that's peak throw. Okay, it looks like they're playing quarters because corners are bailing and safeties are playing two over the top. But that's my first progression, 1A, I should say, peak. Best matchup, sound corner play. Now that's off because it's instant bail. So that's my peak first progression. Again, if you see on the very first four verticals that they are sound in their peel, then that progression part's off. My progression is peak. Now, once I come off the peak, now I'm going for the grass player in the seam area. And we'll get to that on the next clip. So again, progression is, are they sound? If they're not sound, take it till they get sound. 1A in a sound defense against four verticals is peak to your best matchup, your best receiver against an unsound coverage. Well, that's man-to-man, bad way of playing cover two, etc. That's a big gainer for throwing the ball behind the line of scrimmage right there. Okay. We're in 2x2. Okay, quarterback has pretty decent drop back, and I put this film in to make a point. There is the out. Now, instead of the swing, the back here now is running the spear out. It gets the exact same thing. Some quarterbacks can throw this easier because of the way the back's turning. Some backs can catch it easier than a swing. Now they're controlling here with their R2. So their sound, I know that either in game planning or I know at the first rep, that part of the progression's off. I take my peak, and the first thing I do is identify one. Now that's all in pre-snap. I've identified one. So they're playing a cover three or they're playing a man under. I'm licking my chops at this point. Now, because of the way the corners are playing off, I'm not going to get the peak by number one. I mean, they're out of the picture almost one, or almost right now. And number ones are not getting the long shot. But I am salivating right now as the quarterback by knowing that I've got two hash mark seam number twos coming vertical on a one. That's the safety as we identify him as one high safety. Now simply the quarterback takes three and he looks the safety off. If the safety is cheating, and you're going to see this, what happens on the next play. I would mark my quarterback down here because they are, bam. I mean, you talk about grass. You talk about safety, cheating to this side, play over, touchdown, strike up the band, as Coach Hargett says. Wrong player, wrong look. Okay. Exact same team. Next time it was called, Coach Hargett must have taken this to heart and said, run it again, boys. Run it again. Again, there's my swing. Now, they're not sound there, but they went to school on that last rep and they go, hey, they're going to play a soft cover three on us. They're going to play one. I'm going to look to where he's cheating. And I'm telling you what, he couldn't be any more wide open. four verticals at its best. And you just saw the ugly look of it and learning from it and the good look of it. But again, you can't tell me that because of this movement right here, your entire offense is open to you. Spot, snag, all hitch, grass, whatever you want to call at this point, you've dictated to the defense. And that's the biggest thing that I'm selling here, is that you've dictated to the defense, setting a tone, because you have the potential of four verts and they've got to be sound. Couldn't be any more wide. Oop, forgot something. But couldn't be any more. That kid's still dreaming about this. He graduated 3 years ago, probably, and he's still dreaming about this and what might have been, but you get the point. Okay, staying in 2x2, four verticals. Okay. They are not sound. And again, I would note this, and they're bringing 5-man pressure. When you're bringing 5-man interior pressure, so the right mic is blitzing, a sound defense has to either have 5 technique peel or L2 flats in this cover 3 case here. If that's not the case, this is where I'm going right now. There is my, it's over. Play over, pitch, catch, get the first down, get the touchdown, and let's go play the next play. Want to stress that to you. Okay. Let's just, for pretend's sake, say that they are sound and they play peel, or they bring the mic out. Now I'm taking my peek. What I've learned in game plan and what I've learned in 2 reps is they're not letting number 1 get vertical on them. These 2 kids are playing deep third, corner bail. Again, what's that open for you? Hitch, out, etc. So you've got your entire playbook open to you because these 2 kids are scared to death of verts. One thing that I really want to downgrade him on is you have to be at the bottom of the high school number. Be disciplined. Now, he's giving you any kind of release you want. You can stem him up top of the numbers, but you've got to create space between 1 and 2 by running the bottom of the number. See how he brings him in? Bad look. Okay. Now, we've talked about broken arrow. We come off, and I'm looking at this player right here. I always want to work, especially on inside leverage. So they're playing, for some reason, in cover 3. I don't know why it's not sound. I'd rather be outside leverage, just a small thing. But anyway, they want to play me inside leverage. I am working to his outside shoulder to create space here in the grass on the seam. As I work that outside shoulder, and he wants to wall inside by stepping up, I just beat him with speed and athleticism to his outside. I'm open now. So the quarterback, again, he's not taking the 3-step. I would, because I just believe it opens it up more, especially if this kid played him better. If this kid played him better, I'd take the 3-step, plant, hitch. But as Coach Hargett teaches on his whiteboard teaching within the members section, they're not going for the deep landmark. They're going for open grass. This young man here is opening his hips to invite inside. Take it. Get him on your back and create that grass right in here for this number 2. So pretty good look here at 4 verts, what the first progression should be, what the peak should be, and then throwing where the safety isn't in terms of safety's too deep and safety's either cheating to this hash or cheating to this hash when you just have 1, 4 verticals, big play. Still 2 by 2. I'm looking at a 2 now. R1, L1 is how we identify two safeties. It's what I want to know first. R1, L1. Better drop. And what I've got here is, right, number one, we don't have the back here on a check, so he's just in a full 6-man protection. So let's move on for that. If it were me, the first thing I'd do on this group, again, is I would see how they are going to play me in the swing. Are they bringing L2 out? Are they playing a hard cover 2? Are they bringing Mike out, or are they going to peel? I'd want to know that first and take the profit. Right now, Coach Hargett's going 6-man protection. So with 6-man protection, my first progression is peak. I want to know if he's playing a hard 2 and we've got the whole shot, hard 2 and we've got the whole shot, or better player versus mismatch, better player versus mismatch. I want to know that first. I want to take that first. These players bail and run. Can't really see the safety here, but I do know this. If that safety's getting off the hash, they've got one double covered. That's all I need is just a snap peek to knowing that I've got anything I want within the seam. Let's take number 2 here. Linebacker is on a mismatch right there. Even though he's walling the inside to funnel him out, we've got a better athlete on a linebacker that can't move, just quite frankly. He cannot move. He can't see with his back turned. I'm manipulating him right there, throwing him in the grass. I see the safety high over top. I've already got the backer on my back. I'm coming into grass, and we just throw him open there. Ton of area, just not a very good ball. Okay. I want to work this inside leverage. I want to work this inside leverage to turn his hips. Now, one thing I would downgrade this slot player, remember what I said, I want to skin his inside stripe on his pants. So if they were wearing striped pants, the stripe of my blue is going to rub off the stripe of his white stripe, and that's where I'm breaking in right there. I'm too far inside, allowing him to play me better. Really good look at 4 verts. Now, the play doesn't result in a positive game, but let me make a point. You have your entire playbook open to you at this point. Anything in the passing game that you want, because you've made a team. And if you don't take anything else away from this tutorial, you've made a team respect you from your width to your depth. The first movement they're making is back up. You've got your entire playbook. Incomplete, doesn't matter. You've got your entire playbook